Well, it's chiseled face day. The new blade that I haven't tried yet is Croma Diamant is what it says on the blade. Got it from tryblade.com. Never used it before. So let's put it in my Blackland Blackbird razor here. This is a pretty, one of my more aggressive razors. I may not have one more aggressive. So we'll just see how this blade behaves in that. And the soap for today is Chiseled Face Rhino, a collaboration with zoologist scent people. We're going to take our 1/4 teaspoon, and it's kind of a brownish, light brown soap, and we're going to get a hold of about a 1/4 teaspoon of that and press it into the bottom of the lather bowl, which looks like this. It's a very soft soap, kind of hard to spread around because it's stuck to my finger so much. And soaking for a few minutes, Semogue Gunners Club Boar, cherry handle, and the water I have, I used just lukewarm. It's fairly cool today, and it is soft water, so it's good for lathers. And I believe that's everything. The aftershave for today is Eventide from Barrister and Mann. Give that a try. Just kind of smells like Copenhagen to me, or some other type of chewing tobacco or whatever, snuff. All right, I think we're ready to go. Splash some face. Sling all the water that I can out of the brush. So this is the first time I've used this soap. Just been kind of working through, I love the scent. Just been working through samples and other tubs and just haven't quite made it around to it. And now here we are at the Lather Games, and I figure, you know, what a great time to pull it out during the Chiseled Face Day. I like several of the Chiseled Face scents. Okay, we got pretty far with the kind of the paste there. And my syringe here will let me add water in a predictable way. It's just nice. I don't know if it's got some birch tar in there, or, you know, some kind of a musky type ingredient like that. Just good. Now we've got about a teaspoon in it. And we've already got some good stuff. And now I've got 2 teaspoons in it. I like Sherlock a lot from Chiseled Face. Midnight Stag is a big favorite. If I did choose a barbershop scent, Ghost Town Barber might be the one I'd go with. It's got a little bit of a difference and some good character to it. Most the barbershops I don't like too much because of an excess of floral notes or something like that. We have got some, look at that. That's some good stuff. Now when it reaches that stage, you definitely don't want to over water it. So I want to make sure I get a good mix here so I can judge it accurately. Let's add just a little bit more. By the way, if you don't know, YouTube has a playback speed control. You don't have to watch me make a lather live. You don't have to watch it at normal speed. Little gear icon in the bottom right, hit that and look for the playback piece of info. Change it to 1.2 or 1.5. Generally, you'll probably be able to hear and understand words at 1.5 speed. Look at that, gorgeous. That's just gorgeous. I'm just going to put a little bit more water in it. Oh, we got a little bit of soap there on the walls. Come on down now. Sometimes when the soap is so soft it doesn't really stick to the bottom of the thing, and I get to the end of the shave and I see a piece of soap right there. Yeah, there's some right in there. In that case, I'm gonna add a little bit more water and chase that soap down. Just size comparison there. I've got a big noggin. I think I must have gotten that soap particle because it's gotten a little bit more firm. All right, let's go with that. see if it's I need to add some more water. I can very easily. It is late at night / early in the morning as usual for me. Oh, it's just nice. All right. Good feel to it. Good scent strength. Well, I wouldn't say good, but good enough. Maybe a 4 out of 10. Yeah, see, I could use a little bit more water. See how it looks right there when I start painting. Wonderful creamy consistency here. Definitely would call this luxurious. I'll put a little bit more water in the bowl and mix it around before I forget for the next pass. This is a good scent. All right, Croma. Let's see how you do. A little bit of drag. No audio feedback though. So maybe this mix is a little bit dry. Maybe it could be a little bit more slick. We'll see. There are definitely a good many razors that I have, blades that I've put in this that have given me some nicks. I do have to be careful. I never, except for now, never put in an untested blade inside this guy. Do I have any nicks or anything? Ah, nothing yet. Little half rinse there. I keep this razor around because I like to have something aggressive to try blades out with. It gets a lot of traffic when I try new blades because it's the most aggressive that I have. try it out on a more medium razor first, and then if it goes well, I'll try it out in the Blackbird. Blackbird is a contender with some of the other high-end razors. I mean, it is a high-end razor, but there are ones that are more expensive, definitely. And I think it's a lot of people regard it as a contender with those and say it gives them some of the closest shaves they ever get. I don't always get drag with this. This time I do happen to be. One of the reasons I got the polished version of this razor. Minimize the drag. So this blade is working well with this razor in terms of comfort. Seems like it's doing a good job. We'll have to take a look at the result after the third pass and just see if it's actually, cutting closely. This soap has not given me a whole lot of residual slickness in terms of being able to kind of come back and shave over an area that's already been, where the lather's already been moved away. But you do feel a good bit of the slickness. Let's test it. Finger method for kind of the creaminess, the cushion. A little bit of cushion, not tons. Kind of some watery slickness as opposed to maybe the slickness generated by, I don't know, more oily ingredients. I'm not really sure how to phrase that. And that's probably what's creating the drag. If it was a different kind of slickness, maybe more like Sterling or Barrister and Mann, then I think I'd experience less drag. All right, third pass. So that 1/4 teaspoon generated plenty of lather. Still got 3 or 4 passes worth in my bowl. Don't have to scrub very much. It's really funny. I usually end up shaving, really late at night, and I'm tired and want to go to bed and all that. And I always say, well, I'll just do 2 passes. But I get into the groove, and it just doesn't take too long to add on the usual number of passes that I almost always just go ahead and finish it like normal. It's kind of how I make myself do the dishes and things like that. I say, all right, I'll do the dishes for 10 minutes, then I'll quit. Sometimes that'll give me the juice to just finish the whole thing. This is a beautiful razor, well built, nicely finished. This is one of the later ones where he rounded off the edges just a little bit better so they weren't quite as harsh. Well, all right. 3 passes. So I'm going to pause you while I do a good rinse and just take a look at the situation. So the results are, this is a pretty good shave already. And that's without going against the grain at all. My skin just doesn't tolerate that. It's so funny how some of my skin has just been, it's patchy, but not patchy so that anybody would notice, only a person looking for the hairs. You know, some of the hairs have just been trimmed flush and it will not get any better. And so that's great. And there's a few little extra guys there, so let's hit it with one more time, as they say. But just on the neck, I habitually started up there on the cheek, but I didn't need to. Cheeks are fine. All right. So 3 passes in, and tons of lather remaining. Another 3 passes of lather probably. So don't have to use 1/4 teaspoon of this soap, as it turns out. How much water have we used so far for that 1/4 teaspoon? 3 3/4 teaspoons. So there you go. Good way to track it and duplicate the shave or vary the ratios a little bit. All right, last run. Gentle pressure, only enough to keep the blade in contact. Especially with an aggressive razor, you want to watch that. A little bit my skin feels a little bit irritated on that over here. Like, hey, you've run over me with this sharp blade enough times, so quit it. A lot of times that does happen on that muscle right there, because it sticks out a little bit more, puts more pressure on the blade. Feel a little bit irritated, but that's kind of par for the course for this razor. And we will rinse. There are plenty of situations where I do another touch-up pass in this area. This is my problem area if you haven't seen any of my videos. And it is where the hairs are the most stubborn. And a lot of times if I do an extra little touch-up pass in that area to try to get them, I get no results, no extra hairs cut, but then I get a little irritation for it. So sometimes it's totally not worth it. This time, definitely worth it. Fantastic, close, super close shave without going against the grain. Basically on my neck, because the hair grows sideways, I did up and down in various ways, and I basically did a bunch of cross grain passes on it. That seems to work, and it worked today. Just a top-notch shave, one of the closest I've had. And that's the kind of thing that gets reported by this razor. Tiny bit of irritation in that area, but I'm pretty confident that balm is going to fix that up. Let's go ahead and hit that with a nice hydrating balm. This one's available anywhere. It's great. Got good ingredients. And it's inexpensive. This is the sensitive version, which I like because it doesn't have any alcohol. Not going to dry your skin out quite as much. All right, there we go. Excellent. I'm going to clean up and then I'll put on my aftershave. Give this a chance to kind of soak in first. Nice shave. No longer really feel any of that irritation too. This has been one of the quickest break-ins of a Semogue brush that I've had. At about 5 uses, he was able to kind of be used normally, and normally it has happened at more like 18 uses for my previous Owner's Club brush. I think right now he's at 23 uses, 22, and he's already got a great splay on him, just very comfortable, soft tips, and they're just going to get even softer as the months go by. So really liking this guy. So the soap scent is still hanging around just a little bit, which is cool because I like it. Really interesting how they describe the notes of this, and then by the time you add them all together, they just duplicated the Copenhagen scent. Just hilarious. It's not too bad actually in terms of the aftershave splash there. I just have to see how I feel about it in the next 15 minutes or so. Just kind of let it be around. Who knows? I might like it actually. I might be able to just discern different things and get past the initial, well, I smell like dip. So we'll see. Today's been a really good shaving day for me because I met with one of my uncles who had some of my great-grandfather's gear, and some of it was shaving gear, and he thought that maybe he had 1 or 2 straight razors there, and what he actually had was 4, and a brush, a Cavalier brush with rubber handle. I don't know if the hairs are going to be fit for use because it's just so old, but I should be able to, drill that knot out and put in a new one and really be able to enjoy that brush for years to come. And then little expandable cup, the stainless steel even, that just kind of it looks like it's the size of a can of Skull or something, but you pop the top off, chrome, covered or whatever, and you just lift it out, and and now it's a cup, a little travel cup, pretty cool. So the 2 of the straight razors look like they're going to be able to be honed, and they're reasonable quality, good quality steel, American steel. That's cool. And I looked them up online, and they make good shavers. So very nice, and they're my great-grandpa's, so that's pretty cool. 2 of the other ones had just so much rust, especially near the edge of the blade, that I don't know if they'll be able to be used again. But we'll see what we can do. Karnak, I believe, was the brand on those. The scales look pretty cool, and a little smaller razors, but good steel is what I see online. So that's been a good day. It's always great when you can bring in a piece of history, a piece of your own history into your shaving kind of arsenal. So very good, very glad about that. I would be interested to see how my wife likes this scent, if it takes her back to a friend that she knew that used to dip or what. But anyway, we'll see. Sometimes the scent will morph after it's on you, and different parts of the profile will come down, and other parts will exposing other parts. And so I'm interested to see if that happens with this one. All right, we're done. I'm tired. It's time to go to bed. I got this great shave. I feel no irritation right now. I see just a little bit of redness, but that'll be gone very soon. So, premium shave today with the Blackbird. Very glad to have that piece. And so I might not recommend that particular soap base for the Blackbird, since it would probably respond a little bit better to something more with more glide. But who knows? It's also possible that the physics that this soap caused me to have to use with the razor Might be exactly what I needed to get a great shave. I'd have to just run another test with this blade and the razor with another soap that I know has a different kind of slickness to see. Lather Games, Chisel Face Day in the books. Great shave, great shave. And glad I finally got to try the Rhino. Really like the scent. All right, there we go. I hope there was something in here for you that helped you. Take care. Good night.